Hi there, everyone. It is currently the 8th of March 2015. Meteorologist Robert Spetty here with you today. And today, out here in the Western Pacific and Eastern Asia, really two areas we are talking about quite extensively. One is this low pressure, which is expected to develop over Japan, and it really is going to be a heavy snowmaker. I think it's going to be one of the biggest last storms of the year as far as winter weather out here in the north. And it's not this one that which is now pulling away from Japan. It's actually back here towards the east, basically the start of the rainy season front kind of setting up out here in southeastern China. And as this gets some upper level support as we go through the next several days, this is going to develop into a monster. I'm going to talk on that in a second. Also later on in the update, I do want to mention our little area of low pressure. It's way off there towards the southeast. I'll actually use my mouse here on the screen, and you can see it way over here towards the southeast of the Marshall Islands. There's Guam, Saipan right in this area. This is Invest 97W. We'll talk on that in a second. Let's talk about the storm system, which is going to be impacting millions of people across Japan. And well, as it does develop out here, it's already bringing some showers, some areas to the Yangtze River Basin. You can see about 50 to 100 millimeters right in that locations just towards the west of Shanghai. Now, as this does move towards the east, all that precipitation is going to come with it. But also, we have this other low, which is currently over North Korea. Now, this is going to be really just kicking off this high coming in out of Siberia. So that brings in all that cold air, which is going to fuel in with its instability with this low, and that means snowfall. Here's Tuesday morning from the Meteor app. I'm just using these still images so you can kind of see this develop first over here towards the southeast on Monday, by Tuesday coming across Japan, and then by Wednesday afternoon this just develops into a monster off there in Hokkaido. Pressure getting down well below 970 to 960 possibly. That's what all this area in the white is indicating as far as the snowfall and also the high winds. I think we're going to be seeing some blizzard conditions combined with this. Total snow totals actually extending across much of Honshu are all going to be on the Sea of Japan coastline. That's one key thing I do want to keep in mind with this, is that most of the snow will stay off there, well, most of Hokkaido is going to be hit by this because it's really going to intensify over northern Japan. But all the sea effect snow is just going to stay out there in Honshu. So if you are in Tokyo or along the Pacific coast of Japan, not in the higher elevations, that's what this little blimp is right there, I think you're going to miss out on the storm system. And that's going to be something we're going to be watching in the next several days. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Meteor app, and I'll just go ahead and scroll through what you just seen here, kind of in a little different perspective. Love this application because you can kind of see what's going on. You have our area of low pressure starting to slowly develop over Shanghai. It does extend off there towards the east, kind of combines with that low in the north. You can already see this bringing some of that white stuff off there, and then eventually that does move over much of Japan as we continue to look ahead. So let's take a look at the Tokyo 3-day forecast, and this is actually something you can find on the website. I love it because it has a little animation there if it is raining, and it shows a little rain in the background. You do want to check it out if you want to. But we're still looking at these patchy showers on Tuesday. It's actually going to clear up by Wednesday when that storm really reaches its peak. So at least the Pacific coast will be remaining dry as this continues to look ahead. Let's go back to that Meteor application one more time as this does continue to move away. By Wednesday, it's really intensifying off there in the north. If you are a skier, you will be loving this, but by Thursday and Friday, it will race northeast. Cool air spilling in behind it. Also an abundance of vertical wind shear. So anything that is going to encounter that shear when it comes down will likely dissipate. So that takes us to our next storm. As this comes towards the south, that is going to interact with the potential of a new cyclone developing out here towards the southeast of Guam. Let's go ahead and talk about this. We're going to take a look at the JTWC map here, and the big thing I want to note here is you have that area in the medium just south of the equator, north of Vanuatu. That's the other cyclone I mentioned that we are continuing to watch. But off of this is just a lot of convection firing up along the ITCZ, and just north of that, that's where we're seeing that threat of this Invest 97W, the possibility of our developing storm. And where it exactly goes, that's the big question that we're looking at here. Let's take a look at a few of the models actually, and I'll first start off by showing you what the nav gem is indicating, because this one's being very aggressive. As we go through the next 5 to 6 days, it has the storm developing out of that convection that I was just mentioning and kind of pulling off here towards the north. Now, good news, we have a high pressure over the Philippines, this high pressure ridge. Also another one just east of Japan at this time. That's the one that's coming down with that high amount of vertical wind shear associated with that cold surge. As this cruises into this, that's really going to cause it to weaken out, because these storm systems do not by any means like that cool, dry air coming in from the north. And that's why typically this time of year, you just don't see tropical systems really develop up. And we can even compare this up with the GFS. That's the nav gem right there. These are different models, by the way. I know I had a comment in the last video, somebody asking, what does this all mean? Well, these are basically different supercomputers that are put together, different parts of the world. This one right here I'm showing you now is from the NOAA, the Americans. Also NavGem, that's from the U.S. military. ECMWF with that Meteor app, that's the European one. This one picking up on also a storm system here, but also keeping it on the weak side. So at this time, hey guys, like I mentioned in yesterday's update, not the time to be running out to the stores panicking by no means. We're watching this because we're basically weather nerds. We're keeping a very close eye on it, but for the most part, it's not anything that is threatening. The key thing is that at least at this time, models have been predicting this forming, and we are starting to see the convection, so things are verifying. At the very least, could be some showers for Guam. I would be very surprised if this gets all the way out here to the Philippines. So that's some good news. That's my personal opinion on it right now, though. It could change, so we're just going to keep a very close eye on it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, though, always appreciate your feedback, so you can go ahead and post them down there in that comment box below. Another thing I do want to mention before I let you go here, the first day of the Sakura is coming up. I know that we've been talking about this a lot lately because it is spring, and as I mentioned, it should be one of the last major winter storms of the year. So this is something to plan up for if you do live in the Japan. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. Take a look at this photo. This is from somebody there in Mindanao, shared it on our Facebook page. If you want to share any of your photos yourself, go ahead and post them there. Always appreciate that. And yeah, all right, guys, have a good day. Bye. Now, it is not something that is going to be... Now, it is not a severe weather event, nor is it something that will be making the evenings new. Now, it is not a severe weather event, nor is it. Now, it is not something that is going to be. Now, it is not a severe weather event, nor is it something that will be making the evenings new. Now, it is not a severe weather event, nor is it